If you're over 60 and you wake up tired every morning, this is a warning. This is not aging, and it's not normal. Something is happening inside your body while you sleep. Something most people never notice until it's already affecting them. While you're asleep, your body is supposed to recover. That's when your energy should be restored. But after 60, that process can quietly change. Instead of rebuilding energy, your body can begin to lose it overnight. So when you open your eyes in the morning, you're already exhausted. Not because of the day ahead, not because you didn't sleep enough, but because your body failed to recover when it needed it the most. And if this continues, each morning becomes heavier than the last. You may think this is just what happens after 60, that waking up without energy is something you're supposed to accept, that your body simply doesn't respond the same way anymore. But this kind of tiredness feels different. It's not the fatigue from doing too much. It's not the kind that fades after a shower or breakfast. It's there the moment you wake up, before you stand, before you move, before the day even begins. Your body feels heavy, your energy feels low, and your mind doesn't feel fully present. Sometimes you sit on the edge of the bed, not because you want to, but because your body needs a moment to respond. And what's confusing is this: you didn't sleep poorly. You went to bed early. You slept enough hours. You did everything right. Yet something is missing in the morning. That feeling of being restored. That sense of starting fresh. Many people over 60 describe the same thing. They say mornings feel slower. Not just physically, but internally. Simple movements require effort. Simple decisions take longer. And little by little, you begin to notice something else. Your patience is shorter. Your motivation is lower. Your body feels one step behind the day. Coffee helps for a moment, but it doesn't solve it. Resting helps for a moment, but it doesn't solve it. Because this isn't about energy during the day. It's about what didn't happen at night. And that's what quietly changes everything. When your body doesn't fully recover while you sleep, each morning takes a small toll. At first, you ignore it. Then, you adapt to it. Until one day, waking up tired feels normal. And that's when the real problem begins. This is where many people make a quiet mistake. They believe waking up tired is just uncomfortable. Something annoying, but manageable. Something they can live with. But after 60, persistent morning fatigue is rarely just fatigue. Because when your body doesn't truly recover at night, the problem isn't how you feel. It's what your body is forced to do to keep going. Night after night, systems that should fully reset start working without a real pause. Your body doesn't shut down properly. It stays alert. It stays conserving energy. At first, this doesn't feel dangerous. You just feel slower, less sharp, less steady than you used to be. And that's exactly why it's risky. Because nothing feels wrong enough to alarm you. So you adjust. You move a little slower. You plan less. You rest more during the day. You begin to expect less from your body. And without realizing it, you start calling this normal. But your body is compensating. And compensation always comes with a cost. Energy drops first. Then resilience. Then strength. Not suddenly. Quietly. Until one day, you realize something has changed. But you can't point to when it happened. That's because when recovery fails at night, your body carries yesterday into today, and today into tomorrow. So morning fatigue stops being a feeling. It becomes a signal that your body is no longer restoring itself the way it needs to. And the longer that signal is ignored, the more difficult it becomes to get back what's being lost. This is usually the moment when people tell themselves they're fine. Not great, not full of energy, but fine enough. So they adjust. They wake up slower. They give themselves extra time in the morning. They wait for their body to catch up. They sit on the edge of the bed, not because they want to, but because standing up immediately feels like too much. They learn small tricks. Coffee first, movement later, less rushing, less expectation. And for a while, it feels manageable. Not because the problem is gone, but because they've learned how to live around it. That's where the trap is, because adaptation feels like control. You tell yourself you're being smart, that you're listening to your body. But what's really happening is that your body is teaching you its new limits. So you stop pushing. You start choosing what's worth your energy. You delay things. You skip things. Not consciously. It just happens. And slowly, your days begin to change. You don't do less because you want to. You do less because your energy decides for you. What makes this even harder is that everyone around you reinforces it. They say it's normal. They say it's age. They say this happens to everyone. So you stop questioning it. You stop wondering why your mornings feel so different from how they used to. But here's what almost no one tells you. When the body adapts, instead of recovers, it doesn't stay the same. It quietly gives up ground. Energy becomes something you manage, not something you have. And by the time you notice how much has changed, that new normal already feels familiar. At this point, something subtle usually appears. Not fear, not panic, a quiet doubt. You start wondering if waking up tired every morning is really inevitable. Because deep down, something doesn't add up. The body wasn't designed to wake up already drained. It wasn't meant to feel behind before the day even starts. And the fact that this happens slowly doesn't make it harmless. It makes it harder to notice. What most people don't realize is that this kind of morning fatigue isn't random. It follows a pattern that develops quietly, night after night, long before anyone talks about it. And once you recognize that pattern, you start seeing your mornings differently. You realize this isn't about motivation. It isn't about discipline. And it isn't about pushing through. It's about something your body is failing to restore while you sleep. That's why forcing energy during the day doesn't work. And why resting more doesn't solve it either. Because the problem isn't how much you rest. It's what your body fails to recover at night. And here's the important part. When you understand that, morning fatigue stops feeling permanent. Not instantly, not magically, but it stops feeling inevitable. And that moment, when you realize your body isn't broken, just unsupported at the right time, that's when things finally start to change. If you're over 60 and this feels familiar, there's one thing I want you to understand. This isn't about being weak. And it isn't about getting older. Your body is communicating with you. Morning fatigue is not the problem. It's the message. A message that something important isn't being restored while you sleep. Most people ignore it. They normalize it. They adjust their lives around it. And that's why it lasts for years. But the moment you start listening to what your body is asking for, everything shifts. You stop blaming yourself. You stop forcing energy that isn't there. And you start approaching this the right way. If you want to understand why your body feels drained in the morning and what it's really asking for at night, stay here. Subscribe to this channel. This is where I explain what your body is trying to tell you, before that signal turns into something harder to reverse.